Just a quick message before we begin our story of the night. The Team Fortress 2 Collector's Weapon giveaway is still active and you can find it down in the description below. I'll leave a link to the video. And I want to give a special shout out and a thank you to Just Add Fire Studios for providing me with this gameplay. Enjoy. It was a nice Thursday. I was walking home from school and I remembered it was drop day, you know, the day when the drop system starts giving items. So, I got on my computer and started idling, which is a crazy thing to do really. It never works nowadays, but I do it anyway. Later in the game, I received one refined metal as a drop item. Boy was I shocked. Everyone knows Valve didn't add refined metal to the drop system, but I didn't care. I got something interesting for once. How could my day get any better, I thought. I had 2 refined in my backpack already. The possibilities are endless, I told myself. I carefully took the refined out and put it on the craft table. I was so excited to finally craft my first hat. Wishing myself luck, I clicked the craft button. I waited, and then it finished with an agonizing shriek that broke your heart. The prompt wasn't the same as it was before. Instead of saying crafting succeeded, it was backwards. I was very confused, like the game was bugged or something. It couldn't have been hacked, I thought, because it's an online game from an official company. Then, the screen flickered for a split second and the item was displayed. I didn't even have to click the OK button. It showed the mining light. People consider it a bad hat, but I didn't care about that. What I noticed was the engineer. He was more gloomy. His shirt was extremely darker and his eyes were glowing red. The thing that got me the most though was the craft number, the devil's number. I thought that was a little creepy considering the fact that the engineer now looked demonic. The hat itself wasn't too bad. I equipped it on my engineer. Once I equipped the hat, the screen flickered again. That's when I thought that the game was being hacked, and the engineer had the most disturbing grin I've ever seen. His shirt was more darker too. I couldn't believe my eyes. What the hell is going on? I turned off the game for the day and went to bed. The next morning, I was getting ready for school. I didn't forget about what happened yesterday, so I was going to tell my friends everything that happened. I spread the rumor of what happened to me in the game. Most of the people at my school didn't play Team Fortress 2, so they didn't really care. I got to my friends and told them about what happened. They were shocked to hear about this. One of them was asking to meet me at their house tonight to show them. That night, I put on my jacket and I told my parents I was going to my friend's house for a visit. They told me to be back by 9, to which I replied okay and left. My friend invited me in and he led me to his gaming computer. It was a bit complex for me because the keyboard was split in half, but I didn't think that was a problem as I was a fast typer anyway. My friend told me to show him the hat and he looked over it very carefully. My friend was an expert at programming at the time. He said it was normal. Lots of items have the craft number 666. Then, I told him about the engineer. He was disturbed to hear that because he told me to kindly leave. I was upset to be kicked out so early, so I headed home, only to find this nightmare become much worse. I got on my computer to play some TF2 and I picked the engineer. I started playing like most people did. I had fun. Some of my friends were on the same server as me. Then, it started getting more disturbing over time. Like, The map, for example, was slowly turning red, the screen was blurring, and then my teammates slowly died off. Eventually, I was the only one left, and blue team was just standing there, looking at me like I was their worst nightmare. One tried to shoot me, and it did nothing. I tried to move, but the keyboard took control of everything. I was just sitting there, watching my character slaughter everyone. Every person I killed left. The engineer eventually was the only one left on the server. I sat there, watching him. Then the most high-pitched scream I've ever heard crashed the game. I couldn't play anymore. I was scared. How could Valve allow this to happen, I wondered. I went to bed. I was playing TF2 again, but I was a spy. I played as usual. I came across an engineer with his buildings, and as I got closer with my sapper, the background became more blurred and darker. Then the world paused. I couldn't move. The engineer slowly turned around with the same disturbing details I saw on my character's loadout. I was horrified, unable to comprehend what was going to happen next. He walked towards me with a devilish grin on his bloody face. He ripped off my arm, holding the sapper, and told me, "Now, just stop trying to mess with my contraptions, Nick." I was screaming. I couldn't bear the pain. Without effort, he punched a hole through my chest and ripped out my heart. I was seeing my life flash before my very eyes. I fell to the ground, dying. And for the first time, I felt like it was over. I looked up to find the engineer with his eyes on fire, laughing at me for my failure. I woke up with sweat everywhere. It was my first nightmare in over 5 years. I immediately got on my computer and started up TF2, and I deleted that godforsaken hat, never to find those occurrences happen again. I thought it was over. Then, I heard a clank on my window. I looked out to find a man sitting there. He looked up and waved at me, and then he disappeared with no trace. I quit TF2 ever since, and I still have nightmares of the engineer slaughtering me every single night.